Okay. I'm good. How are you? All right. Everyone ready? Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening. This regular meeting of the Township Council is being held in accordance with the schedule of the meetings of the Township Council established and adopted by the Township Council, which schedule designates the time and date and place of this meeting. Adequate public notice of this meeting has been provided pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. We're using an electronic amplifying and recording device in order to obtain a clear and audible record. We request all those wishing to speak be recognized and state your name and address directly to the microphone. The recording device will be solely utilized by the Township Clerk's Office for the preparation of minutes and shall be the official record of the Township Council meetings. Madam Clerk, may I have the roll call, please?
Mr. Munoz?
Here.
Mrs. Albright Troxel? Here. Mrs. Grace Love? Here. Mr. Nash?
Here.
Mrs. Walters? Here. Mrs. Winters? Mr. Mercado?
Present.
Mr. Carlemere?
Here.
Mr. Cardis?
Here.
Chief Harkins?
Here.
Mr. McGill?
Here. Mrs. Winters is ill this evening. She contacted me beforehand. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we are celebrating honoring 6 individuals that have made immense contributions to youth sports here in Gloucester Township. Back in September, we had reached out to our different sports organizations throughout the township and asked them to nominate one individual from their organization that embodied what a coach would be. The time and dedication that they put into our community, into our student athletes here in our township, and the time that they take away from their family to help coach other people's children, to care about them. So we have 6 honorees that are being honored tonight, and you're going to hear about each of these 6 honorees throughout this evening. And we'll start off with Councilwoman Carolyn Grace, who's presenting Donnell Hetty from Gloucester Township Lions Youth Football and Cheer.
Is it Donnell? Donnell. Please come up, and congratulations to all the nominees. Yes, please, and don't go, shy to say whatever you need to say. Donnell Hetty, okay. She was nominated by Coach Honoree. First of all, let me just start over. For the 2024 Coaches Honorees Awards at Gloucester Township Lions Youth Football and Cheer Organization, they would like to nominate Coach Donnell Hetty. Coach Donnell came to GT Lions in 2022, the fall season, starting off as head coach for the junior level squad, and then soon after committing herself to other areas of the organization. She has served a variety of roles within the Lions family, including fundraising, coordination, assisting cheer coordinator, the choreographer, and competition coach. The coach, Donnell, has shown great character and poise while working with are with their youth athletes and families. With over 20 years of experience and multiple championship awards, she is truly an asset to the organization. And not just to Gloucester Township Lions, also her family, but also the Gloucester Township community as well. Coach Danielle is not limited to just cheer. This past spring, their local flag football organization was also in need of coaches. So Coach Danielle once again stepped up, coaching alongside her husband, Lance, and having both of their children, Olivia, and Noah in tow. Assistant coaching not only one, but two teams in the same season. It is an honor to have coaches like Danielle. She is dedicated, goal-oriented, and knowledgeable in a variety of sports. The GT Lions could not be more proud to have an opportunity to recognize her and her hard work. The Gloucester Township Executive Board want to thank you for your commitment, your time, and your hard work. And I want to give you plenty of time to, say a few words, and then I will. Let me go ahead and present. All right. On behalf of the Mayor's Office and Gloucester Township Council, Council President Orlando Mercado, and the council members, we present you with the Gloucester Township Coach Appreciation Month, Danielle Hetty, Honoree Gloucester Township Lion Youth Football and Cheer, October 2024, presented by Mayor Dave Mayer and Council. Okay. With that is a citation from the state of New Jersey, the Senator and General Assembly. They are saying to you, by the citizen of the 4th New Jersey Legislative District through their elected representatives for being recognized for Gloucester Township Coach Appreciation Award. So you will get that sort of citation along with United States Congress, Danielle Hetty, Gloucester Township Coach Appreciation Month, and they are recognizing you as well.
Thank you.
So, okay.
I won't be long because I was ill prepared for this and didn't plan on speaking too much. But I want to say thanks to the GT Lions for nominating me to represent our program. It's an honor to be part of such a hardworking program. And a lot of the times, like, you see coaches on the floor, out on the field, but there's so many people that are in a snack stand or doing paperwork or making sure we have uniforms so we can actually get out there and do things with the kids, which actually is, a priority and for everybody, even though it's not, displayed just by one person. So I like to thank everybody on the board of the GT Lions and acknowledge the hard work that really does go into programs like ours. Being a coach is a full-time job, and being a leader in the community, you can only hope to, help grow not only athletes, but better and greater citizens in our community. So just like to thank everybody. My daughter, Olivia, she's here, but my husband's not here. My son, Noah, they're at BKOL right now, Wayne Belmar, and they're winning. So I made them go to baseball. So it's not just the GT Lions, but it's a representation of the community as a whole. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
There you go.
Excellent. All right.
All right. You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Good evening. I have the pleasure of introducing and honoring Mackenzie Connolly. Mackenzie was nominated by Deb Morris from Gloucester Township Field Hockey. So Mackenzie, thank God I called her when I did call her today, because you'll hear about her and how she has minimal time. She dedicates her time to a lot of people and work and things to do. So she's not a selfish person. She's a giving person. So she is no stranger to field hockey. She started when she was in 3rd grade. And she played field hockey for GT since 8th grade, till 8th grade. And then she played through high school. She's a graduate of Triton. And during that time, while she was playing, going to school, she still volunteered her time to go and coach, volunteer coach with GT field hockey. So I'm not sure how she did that, but it's a lot to do. So she is a sophomore in college. She's studying psychology, and to this day, she still coaches field hockey. She has coaches her sister's field hockey team since she's been in 3rd grade, and now she's in seventh grade. So she's been coaching this whole time. So when she's not coaching and when she's not studying or going to school, she is working. So she works 2 jobs, not 1, 2. So I call her extraordinary, because some people can only do one thing at a time, but she can do multi. So she works at a daycare and she works at PJ Willihan's. So like I said, I'm lucky when I did call her because she had a free moment to talk. And when she is not working, going to school or coaching, she spends time with her family. So we just called her F&F, field hockey and family. So I said to her, while coaching your sister's team, does your sister listen to you? And she says, yes, she does. I said, you're always right. So on behalf of Gloucester Township, I would like to congratulate you and present you. From Mayor, and Council, we would like to congratulate you and present you with this award. Thank you. Okay, you're welcome. New Jersey Senate and General Assembly, from Paul Moriarty, Dan Hutchinson, and Cody Miller. We'd like to congratulate her as well. And from 1st Congressional District of the great state of New Jersey, they honor Mackenzie Connolly. So thank you for all that you do to give back to the community. I'm sure you're a positive role model, and just the words from what they had written about her. The girls of the program look up to Mackenzie, and she's such a wonderful role model to them. She's a tremendous asset to our organization, and they thank you for your time and commitment. Thank you.
Good evening, all. I have the honor of presenting this next award from Ariel Little League, Matthew Belinsky.
Awesome. Seems like you brought a crown. That's good. So one of the great things of being in township, and my wife's a teacher in township. She teaches at Ariel Elementary. So I always get a chance to ask her, like, hey, I see these names, you know, the student who's getting an award or coach or anything. So this evening before I left my house, I said, do you know the name Matthew Belinsky? And she smiled from ear to ear and said, what a great family. His wife, Julie, who's sitting right there videoing, and his 2 twin daughters, Bella and Kira.
So, you know, being a coach, it's much more than just wins and losses. You get the opportunity to teach the youth to how to deal with adversity, whether you don't play to the best that you can, or you lose. So in reading, Matthew was given this award, this honor from the Ariel Little League board. And I know a lot of them are sitting back there on the left. And there's a lot of great things that they said about Matthew. Matthew's also a teacher at Egg Harbor Township. So I think the teacher, the leadership, they all go hand in hand. But a couple of different things that were said about Matthew is they started off by saying, where do I begin? This sounds like a man who, I don't know how you find time to do what you do, being a husband, a father, a coach, a teacher. Not only does he coach in town here at Arrow Little League, but he's also a coach at Egg Harbor Township, cross country, golf, and softball. And like I said, it's not about wins and losses, but the Egg Harbor Township softball team won the state championship 2 years ago, was it? 2017, I'm sorry. And Ariel's softball team, with Matthew leading the way, they won a tournament, their first tournament in the last 4 years, right? Is that correct? Once again, not about wins and losses, but it makes things a little easier for the ride. So a couple of different things is over his years as Ariel, he has coached numerous girls and changed countless lives. Most importantly, he's helped the person who nominated him or wrote this letter, Mr. Davecchio. He's helped his family. Helped his son with the swing, his daughter, coaching his daughter, and you coach what levels?
8, 10, and 12.
Great, that's awesome. And not only that, but when he's not coaching, you can find him dragging the field over at YO to get the field ready for the teams to play. And I think one of the challenges, and Andrew, you had said it one other time, so I'm going to back you up on this, is that in female sports, sometimes it's hard to get somebody who's dedicated and motivated and powerful that wants to drive female sports. And I can tell, Matthew, you ooze that. I mean, there you go, your aerial explosion softball. And this is coming from somebody who coached baseball. I coached my son for 10 years in baseball. And I also have a daughter. And when she said to me, Dad, I want to play softball, I was like, oh, okay, great. But I got to tell you, the difference between softball and baseball is leaps and bounds. To watch these girls yell, cheer, scream, the intensity, it's nothing that the boys can ever imagine. And it's out of this world. And I think if you get a chance to see girls sports, go watch them, whether it's playing lacrosse, field hockey, softball, and not to take away your thunder over here, Matthew, but the Arrow Little League board said that there is no one who is more deserving of this award than Matthew Belinsky. He absolutely commands this attention from Arrow Little League and makes sure that not only his 2 girls are playing, but all the girls in Arrow Little League are noticed and are taught, and what a mentor you are. So on behalf of Mayor, Council, the Congressman, Paul Moriarty, and the Assemblyman, I give you these awards. And Matthew, congratulations. His wife Julie said he wouldn't be short for words, so
Floor's yours. We got about 25 minutes. No, I'm kidding. I'll make it quick. So I have a lot of people to thank here, and I have to get it out because without them, I would not be here. The first group of people that I need to thank that started it. I'm going to be emotional. This is how I am. I got to thank my mom and dad in the back, right? It's funny because when I started teaching, I didn't realize the importance of my mom and dad. I always thought I was the way I was because that's just who I was. And my first 10 years, I taught at an alternative high school where kids didn't know their parents. And that was the moment where I realized I had it extremely lucky and I was turned out the way I was because of those 2 people in the back. And I can't thank them enough. So please give them a round of applause. The next group of people I need to thank are all the Ariel board members. Please stand up, please. All of you guys. I think I've coached with every one of them there, and they are the most amazing people because they understand that in order to build up the kids, in order to get them to where you got to go, you got to care about them. And those people absolutely care. And I've been on that board with them for 6 years, and they're 7 years, and they're the greatest people that you be around in an organization. The next person I need to thank, I've been with her for 25 years.
She's the most amazing woman I've ever met in my life. She's my best friend. And she's put up with all my craziness, coming home and being upset about games and putting things into perspective. And that's my wife, Jules. And she's absolutely amazing. She's from Canada and she didn't really know much about sports. And now she's telling me all the stuff that I'm missing out there. And she's right in there with me. That's right, softball. So, and then the last is, we have the greatest group of kids and we have the greatest family. When I tell you we don't have a drama, we have no drama on our team whatsoever, it is because of the parents and the kids all get along. They generally love everyone on that team. And yesterday was a great day for our organization, not because we won, right? 4 years ago, we were getting our butts kicked in. We were getting beat 20-0. And we kept working the fundamentals and we kept working the fundamentals. And I said, eventually the fundamentals are going to take over and we're going to win. And yesterday we won the first tournament we've ever been in 4 years. 4 years. And it's not because of myself and my amazing assistant coach, Nick, back there, right there. That guy's awesome, right? That's because the girls allowed us to push them and they believed in our process. I can't believe I just said, trust the process. But they absolutely did. So I need all the girls and I need all the family members. We got people from Philly out there, right? We got tough. There's my man back there, Frankie. But I need them all to stand up because they're the ones that need to be recognized right now, is all those kids right there. They're the most amazing, tough kids that you will meet. They got beat around for 4 years, but we're no longer the doormat. We're no longer going to get kicked around. And these girls, I can guarantee you, most of them are going to go to college and they're going to be studs out there. So again, for everybody here that puts this on, I think it's an amazing thing. And I think you need to keep doing it. And I think you need to keep promoting youth sports. And it's about the kids and about them learning. It's not about them winning, because the winning will take care of itself. If you teach them to be better people, they will become better athletes. They will become better husbands, they'll become better wives, they will become better parents. And I will keep doing this for as long as they let me. And thank you all very much. I love you all. Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. It's my pleasure to honor Tom Ford today for his incredible dedication to Gloucester Township baseball. Can I also have, just like he supports you in the field, can I have all the players come up and support your coach? As a volunteer coach, Tom consistently goes above and beyond for his team, making a lasting impact on our young athletes. For several years, Tom has been the most requested coach in our organization for about 4 years now. Tom, which is a testament to both his ability to inspire and to connect with his players and the parents. Recently, he's taken on a much larger role as interleague operations, which takes a lot of weight off of other board members' shoulders, allows our organization to grow. So great, really appreciate that. Tom's connection to his community runs very deep. Tom and his family are long-time GT residents. In fact, when Tom was younger, he played right back here at the Glen Oaks Fields, baseball field, where he learned the values of teamwork and service, inspired by both his mother and his father. His mother would run the snack stand, from what I hear, makes a killer meatball sandwich. And his father would maintain the fields for many years. So he carried on that spirit of giving back to his community. So I want to personally, from the bottom of my heart, thank this guy right here. I consider him a great friend. He's a great attribute to our organization and to our community. So let's give him a round of applause.
this real short and sweet because unlike previous, I am not a talker. Unless it's in front of these boys, ranting and yelling, I don't like to talk in front of anybody. But these boys are, I also get emotional too. These boys are my second family. And I also want Coach John Reeder and Coach Colin Ward to stand up in the back as well. Without those two, I mean, I wouldn't be up here. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. We're a team. So I'm accepting this award, but it's on behalf. I mean, it's the whole team, especially those other two coaches. Because talk about dragging the fields and all. It's a man in the back, John Reeder. He's our field dragger. But no, these boys, they mean the world to me. Ask my wife, I spend more time with them than I do her. But no, I mean, it's seeing the progression, seeing how they've become best friends on and off the field. The parents, I mean, you talk about no drama. We don't have an ounce of drama with our team. Parents get along. We hang out off the field. The boys, they will constantly want to get together off the field. After every single game, I have to drag them off the field because all they want to do is they want to keep playing together while the coaches, kind of get things together, clean up to get ready to leave. They just want to keep spending time with each other. And that's why I do this. Watching these boys grow, and the young men, they look small up here, but I hope to be with them for a while. And like I said, they're my second family, and without them, I wouldn't be up here. So thank you, boys.
Can I get a Coach Tom on three? 1, 2, 3. Coach Tom!
I look around and see all these young people and it just makes it really nice tonight because I'm used to seeing older people in this crowd. So thank you all for coming. And I wanted to know if Dave Burke was here. Come on down, Dave. You just won a prize, Dave. Is your team here? You want to come on up? Come on up. Dave's a new coach. He started in the spring of 2024, and he's coached 15 8U players this season. He focuses on the fundamentals of baseball, not on winning or losing, like we've heard with other coaches. He does that by giving them positive reinforcement. So whenever we do something right, it's good to reinforce it. And he does that so that the kids know they're doing it right. He's an excellent coach because he believes in a team. Each individual is good, but they're great as a team. And so he teaches them to give the strengths of each individual plus as a team. And they're doing so well because they all work well together. When you develop each player and you all get developed individually, but together you become united. And there's power in that. And the power is they become better individuals when they get older, and they eventually do really well with whatever they're learning, which is baseball. So he teaches them the fundamentals, but what they've really learned was how to play together and how to play the game with their best, the best that's in them. And because of that, they moved up from 8U to 10U, which deserves a round of applause. Well, besides his knowledge about the game, like I said, he doesn't focus on winning or losing. These players have all shown major growth. I mean, they may be shorter, but that's not where the growth was. The growth was inside. He dedicates about 6 hours a week. I know a lot of people, when you're working full time and you got a family and you got things you need to do, it's hard. But he gives 6 hours a week, two nights of practice and the game. And besides doing that, I'm telling you, I got tired reading what he did. He helps with projects. He loves the ball field. He inventories their uniforms. He sells spirit wear. So if he wants to get you on the way out to buy some spirit wear, just beware. And he also helps in the concession stand. One of the things that I heard was Jen Scuderi from Glendora softball. She wrote this. I'm sure the parents of his players would agree that he should receive this award. Jen mentioned that his parents are asking to keep their players on his team. Some have even left other teams to come to his team. So that tells you something. Those children are learning not only baseball, but they're learning how to be better human beings and growing up in a better world. Thank you. And he's getting everything that everybody else got. And I don't need to read it all.
You want to say a few words?
Hi. Thanks for the award. I guess I could just repeat what everybody else said. They were all right. It comes down to the kids and the parents and the organization. It's a huge part of why we came to Glendora. Special thanks to Jen Scuderi because she makes coaching real easy. She takes care of everything that I don't have to take care of. If I need an umpire, I can call her a moment's notice and bam, the umpire's there. I don't even have to send an email, which is good because I'm not good at that. Thanks to my wife. It's kind of a double dip for us tonight. It's our anniversary, 13 years. Thanks to my mom. She came over from Philly. Appreciate that. All the parents, my father-in-law, Jenny, and thank you to these ladies. Can we get a galaxy on 3? We're usually a little better with that.
Our last recipient this evening is Mark Spina from Blackwood Kiwanis Little League. Mark, come on up. I'd like to get a little background on our recipients. Mark was born and raised in South Philadelphia, and he made his way to Gloucester Township here in 2018. He was very familiar with our community because he had family here. He came over here with his wife, Erica, who's our teacher in our school district, and his 3 children, Vera, Tessa, and Mark, correct? All right. Mark is your baseball player, correct? Your namesake. He came to, he's the owner-operator of Infinite Air HVAC. So anyone who owns their business, my father owned a business growing up, and I know the amount of hours that it takes, and he didn't coach anything. So, but the amount of hours that it takes, and the pressure that you may have as a business owner. But then he comes and dedicates his time to our kids at Blackwood Kiwanis Little League. He started in Blackwood Kiwanis Little League in 2021 and has been coaching ever since. I'm going to read a little bit about the nomination that was provided to us from the president of Blackwood Kiwanis, John Mitch. Mark has been an invaluable member of Blackwood Kiwanis. His impact on our league has been nothing short of extraordinary. From the moment he joined, Coach Mark has shown exceptional leadership and dedication to youth in our community. He teaches the fundamentals of the game, how to throw, how to hit, but more importantly, he emphasizes the importance of having fun. His coaching style resonates with our players. And if you had an opportunity to play for Coach Mark, you're likely one of the many who have requested him to be on his team again. Blackwood Kiwanis is fortunate to have many incredible coaches and volunteers who give their time and energy to support our children. However, Coach Mark stands out by setting a new standard in his ability to combine technical instruction with the passion for youth development. He's become a role model, a pillar in our organization. We like to extend a thanks to give a shout out to you, Erica, because your support allows him to do the things that he does at Blackwood Kiwanis. His passion and energy have become the driving force behind Blackwood Kiwanis' continued success. And if anyone has followed baseball in this town, that organization went to greater heights this year. We'll talk about that a little bit later. His dedication, enthusiasm, and positive influence has had on our league, has been a positive influence on our league, and he is more deserving of the title of Coach of the Year. I have a special place in my heart for Blackwood Kiwanis. My son played there for 8 years, and I coached there for about 16 years, coaching when he played, and then we had a T-ball team. And I was telling Mark earlier, it starts at the beginning. When you get these kids invested, and if they have a great time in the organization, they're going to continue to keep doing this. And this is the individual that keeps people coming back to these organizations. This evening, the 6 recipients that we had, this is why we do this. This is why we invest in youth sports in this community. You make this community. You make this community, not us up here. You make it and you add to it. So I want to thank you on behalf of Mayor and Council. This is presented to you, Gloucester Township Coaches Appreciation Month, honoring Mark Swino, Blackwood Kiwanis Baseball, presented by Mayor David R. Mayor and Council. In here, you have proclamations from the Canham County Board of Commissioners, the state legislature, and also Congressman Donald Norcross. Congratulations, Mark.
I'll keep this real short. I normally do a Sinatra skit, but I won't do that tonight. Gloucester Township is a great place to raise your kids. We all know that. For me, Blackwood is a huge organization. It's a big organization. There's many good coaches there. John Minch is an awesome president. He stays humble. He stays kind to everybody in the league, even if we do have drama. If we don't have drama, then it goes smooth. For me, it's about the kids developing. I always tell them there's 3 F's in baseball. There's focus. When you're here on the field, it doesn't matter what's going on the outside of that cage. I don't care what the parents are saying to you. I don't care what the other players are saying to you. You focus on baseball and you focus on yourself. Have the day you're going to have starting right now. The second thing I tell them is friends. If your friend's having a bad time, we're all going to have a bad time. So get your players, get them all together. Make sure your friends are having a good time. And the last thing I tell them, more importantly than most sports, is just have fun. You're little leaguers. You're going to make errors. You're going to strike out. It's going to happen. Don't cry. Get off the bag. If you get hit by a ball, don't cry on home plate. Get to first base. You can cry first base. But more importantly, our parents at Blackwood are phenomenal people. It's a big organization. It's a lot to run. I want to thank my assistant coach, JP, who's here tonight, who helps me out tremendously with the kids. I want to thank my parents, who back in the early 90s put me in the asphalt jungle of T-ball where I came from. There was no grass. I'll thank my wife for the time that it does take to help with the organization. And one last thing, I tell the coaches in our coaches meeting, it's not my team versus your team. It's all of us together raising kids together. And then lastly, we were in a tournament this year in Gloucester City, and we were playing aerial. We were having a good time. We were playing, and one of the moms was like, "Oh, they're like our arch nemesis." And I looked at her and I said, "To me, honey, they're all Gloucester Township kids. It doesn't matter who wins this, as long as we keep it in Gloucester Township, and that's all that matters to me." So thank Ariel for always being great competition with us. I know the other little leagues have helped us out, and I thank everybody for being here tonight. And thank the council.
We have a special presentation. Michael Munoz is going to come down. I alluded to the meteoric rise of Blackwood Kiwanis this past year through baseball, and Mr. Munoz will talk a little bit about it. We have a special presentation for Blackwood Kiwanis Little League.
Thank you, Orlando. And Mark, I grew up in Southwest Philly, so I understand what you're saying, playing in asphalt. And I got to tell you, Gloucester Township, we got the best fields here in Gloucester Township, all of South Jersey. Is Mike Goldis in the audience? There he is. So Mike is the manager, right, of director at Dr. DePace, the museum. I don't know if anybody's ever been there, but there's a museum in Washington Township. If you get a chance to go in there, it's pretty overwhelming. There's a lot of sports memorabilia, not just baseball, but a tremendous amount of sports memorabilia. And like I said, if you get an opportunity, please get a chance to go in there. At this time, I'd like to bring up the Blackwood 12U coaches. I'm not sure y'all know. It's Coach John, Coach Greg. Who else you got with you?
Coach Paul.
Coach Paul. So we heard tonight about going over fundamentals, learning, teaching, all this great mentorship. But at some point in time, we have to teach competition. So I'm not sure if anyone is familiar with the way Little League works. You just don't win one championship and then get to Williamsport. But to get to Williamsport, it's the 12-year-old team. Okay, so the 12-year-old team goes and they battle locally, which is districts. Then they have to go play their sections. And then if they win, they go to states, and then they get the regionals, and they get to Williamsport. So these guys behind me coached a team that did something that hasn't been done since 2012. And I believe it was your uncle, right? 2011, I'm sorry. And they were from your Little League. But they got a chance to go to the state championship. Now, there's over 350 Little League teams in New Jersey. And this team was one of the top 4. So over the summer, we had an opportunity there was a sponsor that had a barbecue over at Dr. DePace's museum. And there was like I said, the hot dogs, the kids were all there. It was just a great time. And Dr. DePace wanted to make sure that tonight was a night that he wanted to see them be honored and recognized. And Mike, on your behalf, brought the plaque. So anything you want to say?
I just want to say it's an honor to be here. We're a nonprofit museum here in South Jersey, and we want you all to come and see it if you haven't already, and if you have. But congratulations, guys. I just want to say that as a nonprofit museum, we're here to serve the community. We're here to educate, and we're also here to inspire. And you guys are inspiring. Thank you.
These two coaches made 12-year-old summer, a summer that they will remember forever. So I'm going to present this to the head coach and the president, John Minch. John,
Thank you for the award, and thank you to Mike. Mike's been phenomenal. I've known Mike for quite some time. He's a great baseball guy, and when he says he coaches, if you've been coached by Coach Mike, you've been treated something special. But it's been an honor. I wish the kids were here with us. They're the ones that deserve this award, as well as Coach Greg and Coach Paul. It's talking about team. You don't have to have the 12 best players in the world to have the best team. And we had an incredible group of kids. We had 12 players, and we had one kid who it was pretty incredible. He got hit in the mouth with a ball in May, and broke his jaw, broke the top part of his mouth. Everything kind of came off, and he was the inspiration, I think, to this team. We had him come out with us, and everyone just rallied around him. And these boys just did something special. He was there with us every day, and he helped pick the boys up when they were down. He was a big part of this team, even though he wasn't technically on the team. But the 12 players we had, they just played together. They've been playing together for a long time, and I think that's the most important part about Little League. You get to travel baseball and things like that, and you're playing on 4 different teams in 4 different years. But in Little League, you're playing with your guys, right? The kids you're going to go to high school with, kids that you grow up with. And it was just great watching them, culminate in, again, they might have not been the most talented team, but man, were they scrappy, and they just didn't give up. And they went undefeated through districts, undefeated through sections. And I might be biased, but we lost a couple games in states to teams that weren't as good as us. But it was a fun run. We started playing baseball, Little League baseball. Winter workout started in February, I think it was, and we didn't finish till August. And it was a great run, and we're proud of the boys. So they'll be excited to see this award when they get their rings and their jackets next month, next couple weeks from now. And thank you guys for being here and helping us celebrate.
This concludes our program. I want to thank everyone for coming out. Can we have all the recipients come up here? We're going to grab a picture and it'll be in the mayor's newsletter on the township's Facebook page tomorrow. So thank you very much and have a great evening, everyone.
I think you're going to talk. That's fun. I guess this is my name. Yeah. Let me remind you. I was gonna say something. It's me. Yeah. That's why I was trying to get you playing our tournament last year. You talk. Yeah, we'll be. Oh yeah, we'll set up some stuff in the spring and. Yeah. I know my tryouts for that for the other team. Awesome. Okay, you want to do anything in the off season with us? Again, we get in between the white line here, we go at each other. But other than that, we'll work. I said something to me. I was like, I care about how good yeah. I was like, thank you. That'll help. Yeah, and I know a lot of people now can do it. A lot of coaches like they set up.
I told Zane to come, but I don't know. Thank you, man.
You know what's funny? I saw. I went. Oh God, I'm not sure. She was the one that. Good? Yeah. Let me know if you need anything.
I might have a quick response with the lights. I went to Dankin International, the technology park in Texas.
Yeah, it's
I
really
was sitting at
nice.
dinner, and I just happened to sit next to this guy. We started talking. And he says, "Oh, what are you doing?" I said,
You know, I'm not saying.
"This is how part of Bloomberg." And he goes, "Well, just so you know, I'm the head sponsor guy for Dankin International. They just bought the game rights to do some work." He's like, "You love it?" I said, "You're not good." I put a letter in already, so we can get that. You can throw the money to someone else.
Yeah, no.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, nothing's cheap.
It's all right. We told him about it. It's at least 150.
Yeah.
He said the thing with their sponsors, it goes for 10 years. So you do 20, 30,000 every year.
You know what I'm hoping for.
I know.
But I can't. Listen, if it doesn't, it doesn't.
If it does, it does. But we'll get Citizens Bank. We'll make Blackwood like Citizens Bank Park when we get done. All right.
Call me if you need it.
You got it. Thank you.
I might say this. What am I paying attention to? Keep on fighting. There's a lot of things that go around there.
Oh, yeah.
You can watch this council meeting on video. You can go to YouTube, type in Gloucester Township, and you can watch it happen tonight on video. So here we go. Have a good evening. You too.
Mr. Mignone.
I'm gonna go. I got a long ride. All right, I'll see you Wednesday.
Yes.
So you got the whippersnapper, you behave yourself. Take care.
Mr. Nash. We will resume our council meeting. Madam Clerk, now the roll call, please.
Here. Aubrey Troxel. Here. Mrs. Grace Love. Here. Mr. Nash.
Here.
Mr. Mercado.
Present.
Mr. Carlin. Here. Mr. Curtis. Here. Chief Harkins. Here. Mr. McGill.
Here. We now have the public portion. This is for agenda items only. Anyone addressing council may speak one time. Once all those wishing to address council have had their turns, they may address council a second time. Only if it asks what was said earlier, not repeating earlier statements. Each speaker is entitled to 3 minutes. There's 15 minutes for the first public portion. Anyone wish to speak on the first public portion? Agenda items only. Mr. Leader.
Dave Leader, Huntington Avenue, Glendora.
Good evening.
Good evening. I was looking at R 24:10-344, the tennis and pickleball court. It looks like it's going to be approving tonight for $44,000. Is that, did I get correct or not?
No, that is the minimum. Mr. Curtis.
Yeah, so the bid thresholds for the Township of Gloucester, based on the fact that I am a qualified purchasing agent, are between 6,600 and 44,000. Anything above 6,600, you need at least 2 quotes, or at least to try to obtain a second quote. Anything over 44,000 must go out for bid. This is tied into a grant. It's the LRIG, Local Recreation Improvement Grant. Township was awarded $58,388, and this will go to improvements, I believe, for what is it, tennis and
Pickleball. Yes. Combination of tennis and pickleball, is what I read.
Thank you, Mr. Curtis.
Thank you, Mr. Curtis. I was looking at the construction management and inspection services. Something about an existing path, or is there a new one proposed? I'm not sure. D46.
For the bike path, sir, resolution 346.
Yes.
Mr. McGill.
Yep, this is to re-advertise for the construction management and inspection services part of that project. We had a separate resolution for the advertising of the construction documents themselves.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Is there anyone else? Ms. Smithman?
My time was not up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Leader, you turned. All right. Ms. Smithman, please. Mr. Leader, please continue. I'll call you after.
The batting cages, 3-lane and 4-lane, I didn't understand that nomenclature.
Mr. Curtis? Batting cages, 3 and 4 lane.
so the township bid both a 4-lane and a 3-lane. Each lane would enable someone to hit in that particular lane, and they could safely hit because there would be netting around each lane. So a 4 would expand the use to obviously 4 participants at a time. 3 would be 3 participants.
Thank you. I didn't understand the deductions when you're spelling out those dollars and cents. Is there going to be any township money dedicated to this? Or was this all grant?
No, there will be
Was it in the 2024 budget?
township money on a capital budget.
So far, we have 420,000.
That's earmarked for it, yes.
All right. Thank you for informing me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Ms. Smithman?
evening, Council. My name is Shaughnessy Smithman. I live in the SDK Millbridge Gardens Apartment Complex on Millbrook Court, apartment 341. The back of my apartment is not in the apartment complex. The back of my apartment actually faces Kelly Driver Road, identified as Kelly Driver Lane on the New Jersey Transit bus schedule. Is today still, what do you have recorded as the day? It was not mentioned in either the introduction before or after the Coaches Appreciation and the Kiwanis Award recipient ceremony. And when you pulled the order again, you didn't mention what the day's date was.
I generally don't tend to mention the date unless you ask me to mention the date. The date is Monday, October 28th, 2024.
Thank you. May I ask who are the members of the Historical Society? It says here that they appointed the members. Does anybody know who they are?
I don't have a list of the members of the Historical Society. Mr. Nash, who is our liaison, can probably give you some names of it. The head of the Historical Society is Sharon Mickle, who's the president of it. But I can't give you the list of all the Historical Society members.
Well, on the agenda, it says that you're
No,
appointing.
an individual's being nominated. One
Who's
individual.
appointing members to the Historical and Scenic Preservation Committee. I just want to know who they were.
One member, Colleen Rutledge. That's one individual.
Oh, you do realize it's written plural, like there's more than one person being appointed?
Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
And the last resolution on this agenda, you're trying to not participate in a benefit in a health program. It says resolution of the Township Council of the Township of Gloucester approving the termination of all participation of the state health benefits program, so it's on an SHBP.
So we are self-funded as a township. The sewer utility employees that are in the Teamsters contract, is that correct, bargaining unit, they're under the state health benefits plan. You cannot have two sets of health plans for all of our employees. So they have to be removed from the state health benefits plan. They're gonna have a plan that's gonna mirror what the other employees have in our township. Mr. Carson, want to add anything to that?
No, you're absolutely correct. You're not permitted by law to have a split. It's either all or nothing with regard to the state health benefits.
But that's just for your employees.
Yes.
For our employees.
Does that include their children? I ran into the same type of circumstance with my son. Even though my son's father is a year and a half older than me, I had better insurance, but the way insurance health law went, whoever's birthday comes first, not whoever's older. If your birthday falls first within the year, that's the person who becomes the primary for the child.
Yep, coordination of benefits. Thank you, Miss. Thank you
Well,
very much.
with the
Ms.
complications I'm still having with my identity, that it affected his healthcare.
I'm sorry, your time is up. Thank you very much. You have 3
Is
minutes.
that the same for everyone?
Yes, it's 3 minutes for everyone.
You
First
realize
public
that the
portion.
previous person, you did not. have
No,
to
because I had called on you earlier. I thought he was done. And he had about 15 seconds. I counted in my head. I went over and I allowed that because I cut him short. Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak that's not spoken yet? Anyone else would like to speak again? Seeing none. We'll close the first public portion. Bid report.
2024 snow removal and batting cages at Township Park.
May I have a motion? On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Mignon?
Yes.
Mrs. Albright Troxel?
Yes.
Mrs. Grace Love?
Yes.
Mr. Nash?
Yes.
Mrs. Walters?
Yes.
Mr. Mercado?
Yes, and just a caveat, this is accepting of the bids. We're not moving forward with any contracts, it's accepting the bids. Waive the reading, and accept the minutes of workshop meeting September 9th, 2024.
Make that motion.
Oh, I didn't do a roll call? Oh, I'm sorry, I jumped in.
Oh,
No, they were both together.
Yes, they are together. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
Waive the reading, accept the minutes of workshop meeting September 9th, 2024, and regular meeting September 9th, 2024, and September 23rd, 2024. May I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Mignon?
Yes.
Mrs. Albright Troxel?
Yes.
Mrs. Grace Love?
Yes.
Mr. Nash?
Yes.
Mrs. Walters?
Yes.
Mr. Mercado?
Yes, next we have our consent agenda. Any council member like to have any item removed from the consent agenda? please speak up.
I do have a question.
Yes.
On that last one, that resolution 10350, that'll be a seamless transition for those people for their benefits.
Mr. Cars?
Yes,
It'll be
it will.
seamless.
When you say seamless, we will replicate the benefits verbatim to what they have right now.
Right. So, and will they have to pay for it?
They will continue to pay Chapter 78, year two, what they have under their contract. I can't tell you what that rate will be. It's based on what the current market is right now.
Okay, I just wanted some clarification.
And Council President, if I might.
We have the amendment on the professionals. Okay, Mr. Carson contacted me earlier today. The historic engineer, architect, but does our historic architect, works with our historical committee and also the township. So for resolution 345, to include that as a historic architect for RFQs.
Thank you.
So with that addition to that, may I have a motion to accept the consent agenda with that addition?
Make that motion.
I'll second that.
On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Mignon?
Yes.
Mrs. Aubrey Troxel?
Yes.
Mrs. Grace Love?
Yes.
Mr. Nash?
Yes.
Mrs. Walters?
Yes.
Mr. Mercado?
Yes. Next, we did not receive any GTE Gov access emails. We'll now go to our second public portion. This is for any item the public chooses to address. Each speaker is entitled to 5 minutes. There will be 30 minutes total for the second public portion. Each speaker is entitled to speak up to 2 times. Ms. Smithman, you're first.
Hi, good evening, council. My name is Shaughnessy Smithman. I live in the SDK Millbridge Gardens Apartment Complex on Millbrook Court. It's written as 341, the apartment number followed by Millbridge Road, even though it's located on Millbrook Court, 08021. It's considered the city of Clementon. Let's see, we're still in the month of October, but I do believe that the month of November is when there is the daylight savings. I think it's the second week. You spring forward and you go back the first Sunday in the month of November. So it's spring forward, fall back. So spring forward the second Sunday for springtime and the first Sunday, you pull back.
Yes.
That's
We are
before,
falling back on Sunday.
this is the council meeting before daylight savings time. So this is the last opportunity to tell people that they have to turn their clocks back the first Sunday in November. Also, I noticed that there's a holiday for the council meeting. It's not going to be the second Monday in November 2024. Is that correct?
Is that, do you have the calendar? Was it the Veterans Day?
Yes.
Okay.
So that next week's it's a different schedule. And Halloween this year, what is being done with the township? I was not sure if it was going to be this past Saturday.
Halloween's taking place on October 31st, Halloween.
Oh, it's gonna actually take place on the actual holiday. That was the official day for the township to celebrate. Sometimes they tend to move the holiday of Halloween. They'll move it to the previous
It's never
Friday.
moved except for one time when there was a storm.
Superstorm Stanley, 2012. Oh, the right story.
No, sometimes,
Other than that, it's been on Halloween.
sometimes they do change it. Different townships and cities and boroughs will allow the children to go out on different days. Right, so it is actually going to occur on Halloween this year?
Yes.
Right, thank you. I am still having trouble with having any type of assistance from the township, the municipality, as far as the local police department and helping me identify myself as somebody a victim of identity theft. Without the acceptance from the Gloucester Township, New Jersey Police Department that I am a victim of identity theft, I cannot get assistance from the federal government to help me correct any of this theft. Since this identity theft most likely occurred more than 10 years ago, I have went through a psychiatric crisis, physical health and mental breakdown, was homeless temporarily for being 1.5 months late in the year 2014. I've had to recover the best that I could. It seems that part of the problem was that I'm a victim of identity theft. But since the Gloucester Township, New Jersey Police Department refuses to acknowledge that in any way, whoever stole my identity now has more information and identifying themselves as Shaughnessy Smithman than I do. My name is Shaughnessy Smithman. I've been living in Gloucester Township, New Jersey. It was previously the city of Blackwood when I was a newborn back in 1977. I grew up in Monroe Township, that's Gloucester County. The company that was assisting me, I went through their own complications and needed police assistance. I don't think that South Jersey Behavioral Health Resources received assistance either, because part of the people that were corrupt within that company have said that they were paying the rent for my apartment still. They are not. I paid the rent. If I hadn't, it would not have been paid. They're calling, claiming that they paid it. I was the one that wrote the check out of my own personal checking account. That could lead to an eviction. It would make it even more difficult to receive assistance of being a victim of identity theft. I have always been a tax-paying citizen. I've worked since I was 16 years old. I was pregnant at 15. I dropped out of high school. I tried to go back. I couldn't. McDonald's does not pay enough, or any minimum wage for an unskilled worker does not pay enough to pay for daycare while you're at work and while you go to high school. I'm a single parent. I did not force the father to marry me. I let him go with the woman he chose. I was single my whole life. I've always paid taxes. I've always worked above the table for the most part. When I had tips, I claimed them. I'm asking for help from this township. President Mercado, can you help?
Ms. Smithman, in previous meetings, I've told you this is out of the purview of council and the township. I've asked you to have a conversation with our police department.
No, you have not.
Yes.
You have not.
Ms. Smithman?
You
yes.
told me to have a conversation in a hallway
Ms.
about
Smithman?
identity theft. That is a federal crime.
Okay.
It is a felony crime. It's larceny.
Okay. Well, you're not gonna let me finish. So we cannot help you.
I do have
Thank
one question. You said this happened, started 10 years ago. Where did you live 10 years ago?
I got evicted from 19A South Center Street in Merchantville, New Jersey, 08109, July the 3rd, 2014, for being 1.5 months late in rent. I had lived there from the year January, April, almost May of the year 2009. My rent was always paid early. Excuse me?
Did you report the problem at that time?
I was going through a mental breakdown.
When did you first report it? When this happened in 2009?
I didn't realize that I was a victim of identity theft. Being alone your whole life, I learned how to go to work, get a paycheck, and pay the bills. It got so severe that I was paying the neighbor's bills. The Comcast bill for the cable of my neighbor was being placed in my mailbox. I opened it up, I paid the bill. 2 weeks later, I paid it again. 2 weeks later, I went to pay it again. I had to call the company of Comcast, now Xfinity, and say, why am I being billed so many times? They said that I wasn't. I said, well, then change the due date for the bill back to where it used to be, because I had all the day that my utilities were due. And it was different. They changed it. 2 weeks later, I got another bill. I called again. I said, why am I receiving another statement for charges? They said, wait, whose name is on that? So it turns out I was paying everybody, whatever utility was being placed in my mailbox, I was paying it. I was that tired. That's what happens when you just go to work and pay your utilities. I have nothing to compare it to.
Ms. Smithman, thank you for your
And
time.
doing that, I came here to this township asking for
Ms.
assistance.
Smithman.
This is what I'm told you're supposed to do.
Ms. Smithman.
And I'm not told that you can have a
Take
private
a
conversation
seat,
with
Ms.
a police officer concerning something as a felony
Please take a
crime.
seat, please. Please take a seat.
I'm going to sit down. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Does anyone else would like to speak? Mr. Leader?
Good evening, Council. Dave Leader, Huntington Avenue in Glendora. Last meeting, I was admonished for misunderstanding and misstating who the CFO of Gloucester Township was. I had done research prior to the meeting, and I did not recognize the name on the report that was issued, so I started looking online for Miss Everett, is it? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Eric.
Everett, CFO. I found her name on Facebook as the CFO at Gloucester Township Police, which I stated at that meeting, and I was admonished for being wrong. I also stated that Mr. Mercado said that there was a sidebar agreement on R 24-08-298, and that I was wrong, Mr. Mercado said, and I was admonished for that. I'm not happy being admonished. I'm here to learn. I'm here to help. I want the town to grow. I want things to go well. I always had things go well in my work. So to be admonished for doing research before the meeting, bringing up that research as information with a question, I felt was in bad taste. So the sidebar agreement was discussed. We have it. I have a clip on my phone if you want to listen to it. I now did more research to understand what a sidebar agreement is. I could have learned that from you all since you did the sidebar. My question at the time of that sidebar agreement was, is that something you vote on?
I'm
asking, is that something you vote on?
The question you had last meeting was you had a sidebar in there. No, that is
different.
No,
it's a different.
And I explained it to you. I don't want to be accused of admonishing you again, Mr. Leader. I explained to you the difference between a sidebar and a closed session. It was a closed session on a workers' comp issue. We don't call it a sidebar. He said, I'm new to this. I'm trying to learn. A sidebar agreement is we had with a bargaining unit, the Teamsters unit. We had a sidebar. So I don't need to see your video. I know what was said, and I know that when we meet in there for closed session, it's not always a sidebar. That particular meeting, we had a sidebar. We came out. There's a sidebar agreement made with the Teamsters union for the individuals that work for the sewer utility. The meeting last meeting, when you asked about a sidebar, that was a workers' comp issue. Are we clear on that?
You're very clear on that. Yes, you are.
Excuse me?
You are very clear on that.
Okay.
That sidebar was made into a resolution.
And that was not from that particular meeting.
Oh, no.
I also asked if there was minutes taken when you have a sidebar. I didn't get an answer to that.
No. A sidebar? Do you mean
Sidebar.
Do you mean a closed session or a sidebar agreement?
You had a sidebar agreement with the union.
Okay. That
And
took
I
place.
can't find anything on the town website that documents what occurred with that.
So the clerk explained when you asked for minutes regarding those meetings. Madam Clerk, would you like to talk about what we do with meetings? They're very general. The minutes, excuse me.
Yes, for closed session minutes, he's asking.
That's correct.
So once the matter has been resolved, be it a legal issue, be it a employee issue, then the minutes are able to be released to the public. Not until then, not until the matter's been resolved. So a resolution is required to allow us to go into closed session and for council to discuss things. And there's different reasons, pending litigation, employee matters. It all depends. That's in the body of each resolution. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oath of office. I state your name, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution and laws of the state of New Jersey, and that I will adhere true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established under the authority of the people. I do further solemnly swear that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of a council member in the Township of Gloucester according to the best of my ability. So help me God. That means every resident.
Thank you, Mr.
Not
Leader.
selectively.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. Does anyone else would like to speak that's not spoken yet? Yes, sir, in the back.
hold this meeting before the award ceremony. Would feel like a bigger crowd.
Good evening. Oh. Tonight the volume's loud. Barry Salvatoriello, Hickstown Road, Sicklerville. Just a couple of quick questions. Going to the sale of the MUA. $250 million they are investing. $143 million plus 90
in capital improvement.
In capital improvement, so approximately $250 million. How much time does anybody know how much time the board gave that company to recover that expenditure? Because I can't believe that they're gonna spend $250 million and not look to recoup that expense. So I'm just wondering if we have any idea. I know we've got a 5-year freeze on the rates going up, usage rate, not counting the fees that that are not regulated. So I'm just wondering how they're gonna recoup that money.
You would have.
And I'm sorry,
You have to speak to American Water. I can't.
I just
speak
didn't
on
know
their
if our
behalf.
township did its due diligence to protect the residents and find out exactly what the potential was for an increase was.
Absolutely. We're going to alleviate debt. We're going to reduce our taxes and we're going to freeze our taxes. We're going to reinvest in our community. We have an opportunity to reset our financial status.
I understand.
I'm responding.
I get it. Okay, I apologize. Go ahead. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Barry, during the course of my day, what I do for the school district, I sign off on when our teachers have school loans that are forgiven to the federal government. And there have been many folks that have had their loans forgiven because they've taught in the school system for X amount of years, where they could have made more in the private sector. They're extremely well educated. What that has done for our teachers, where they have reset their financial outlook in life. They no longer have that albatross of $100,000 or $200,000 in school loans. I liken it to this. Here is an opportunity to get rid of $65 or $66 million in debt and reset our financial house in order and reinvest in our community. That's how I see it. I can't tell you what American Water is going to recoup. I have no idea, but I know what we're planning to do here in our township if this moves forward.
I understand a reset. I get that. I also understand that as it was so eloquently put at a meeting a couple of weeks ago, that the township itself, if the sale does not go through, we're not bound by the state and an increased permission. So I understand that. I understand a reset. I get that. I have many friends that took advantage of going to college for free to become a teacher and teach for 5 years in the state of New Jersey in certain districts. So I get all that. And I get the reset that we're looking to do. But the reset doesn't mean anything if we don't slow down our spending either. And it just seems to me like there's a lot of spending that goes on. I mean, I'm just catching up, and I'm sorry I haven't been here, to make your life hell. Not like some people, but my mother just passed, so now I'm back, and
I'm sorry about that.
Thank you. So it's just a matter of learning what's going on for this township and slowing it down. I mean, pickleball, we're looking at somewhere between 6,600 and was that 45, 6,600 and 44,000. Any more than 6,600, we have to put it out to bid. And
Grant for 58,000.
okay, why are we spending money on these pickleball courts? Aren't they only?
Grant for 58,000.
But didn't we just spend? How much did we just spend on pickleball courts to build them a year and a half ago?
I don't have the price, probably around 400.
$450,000. I think it was almost $500,000. What do we have to improve on them now? I'm just trying to figure that. I'm sitting in the back listening, and I'm like,
No, it's a different neighborhood.
Okay.
That's Hickstown Road. This is in Blenheim.
So
This is a grant to
So
improve.
now I'm playing catch up. I got that. I'm just playing catch up now. Okay. And once I'm caught up, we'll be good. But that was my question. My main question was, what are we looking at? Because I know Ocean County just had a $79 million expenditure approved for American Water. It's going to cost the residents $7.55 a month. And I believe that's supposed to go across the state, not just in Ocean County in Brick Township, where they're doing the improvements. So is anybody looking into those things and where is it coming? And are our residents now gonna pick up that $7.55 a month to recoup that $79 million that American Water is gonna spend to repair the infrastructure in Bricktown? Just thoughts for people to inform them of everything.
So was that a sale? Did they purchase?
No, New Jersey American Water already has it.
Question, I want to answer, I want to address your first question.
Okay.
How long will, if, hypothetically, if the referendum was approved and if New Jersey American Water took over the system, how long would they have that system? How long would that be an investment for them? Do you know that?
I'm assuming it's on
5 years, will it be 10 years?
the investment from
Will it be
American
50?
Water
Yes.
to
How long will
purchase our MUA.
How long will they retain that as an asset?
I'm assuming
Assume what?
that it's a lifetime investment because we're not gonna be able to afford to buy it back.
In perpetuity. And what does in perpetuity mean?
I understand lifetime.
Forever.
I get that.
So
But we're still
what makes you
looking
think
at,
they're trying to get their investment money back in a 5 or 10 year period?
that's not what I asked.
That's
I
what I've
asked,
heard.
I-
That's what I've heard.
not from me. You did not hear that from
Can
me.
we not step over each other? If you're gonna let someone's unfinished.
You did not hear that from me. I've only been here once and you weren't at the last meeting I was at.
The way
Since
you phrase
American
the
Water has
question,
started.
It's as if it's going to be recouped in a matter of years, as in 10 years.
That's how you
Or
took
5
my
years.
question. That's not how I meant it, because obviously I don't expect Gloucester Township to produce $250 million from our residents because you'll have nobody living in this town
It is
anymore.
an investment for them
I understand that,
in perpetuity.
but
Okay, unfortunately, your time is up. We have some people that want to raise their hands. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, guys. Nancy Kelly, Hilltop.
No, it's Kelly.
You brought up teachers having their loans forgiven.
Mhm.
That's great. However, their loans are forgiven. And I hope as a personal person that they are going to run their household and make sure that, we're not going to go into debt. So as a council, what are we going to do if this is passed and we're going to pay off the debt? Because I spoke to a high school financial literacy teacher. And in high school, this is what they teach you: relevant money skills. Learn to manage, buy, and avoid debt is what they teach in high school for financial literacy. They set future goals, how to save for a rainy day. What are the dangers of debt? This is what is taught in high school for the kids today. How to avoid. What are the financial pitfalls of debt? How are you able to be a savvy spender? And a whole bunch of other things that I got from someone who's a financial literacy teacher. What are we doing? Are we going to learn from the high school students today how to build a better budget and not to spend money we don't have? Are we not, can we make a promise? Can we do a promise, a pledge, a guarantee, a commitment? Making sure I have your attention.
No,
Can we have a commitment that
Pledge
we
and commitment
will
of
not
promise, okay?
go back to this obnoxious amount of debt that we're teaching our children in high school today? In order to graduate, you need to have financial literacy course.
Mhm.
So are we going to do what we ask our students to do in high school? Do not go into debt. Are we going to do that?
We're gonna be financially responsible.
And not go
We have
into the
committed-
obnoxious,
We have,
don't speak over. Are
I'm
we
sorry,
not-
you asked me a question,
But
Ms.
I'm not
Kelly.
finished.
Then I'm gonna let you speak, and I will speak after your 5 minutes are done.
Great. So I want to make sure that we're not going to have, oh no, we need to sell. What's the next thing we can sell? If we can't sell the MUA today, oh, someone said, oh, what, are we now going to go to a county police force? Someone actually said that. I'm like, heck no, I hope not. But do we have assets that we want to sell if we go back into debt again? I'm up at 229. You can give me an answer. Good.
We're gonna be financially responsible.
And what
We
does
may-
that look like?
Are you gonna let me finish? Ms.
I
Kelly?
wanna know
Ms.
what-
Kelly, I will speak after you're done.
Then I would like what is financial responsibility? I want to make sure that we're not going into debt. Go for it.
Ms. Kelly, you mentioned us being fiscally responsible. Can you name an item specifically that you think was frivolous that shouldn't have been spent on?
Oh, absolutely I can.
Okay.
The county does a shred vent. I haven't had the time to do a FOIA request for the cost of the township doing our singular township only FOIA on that shred day. What did that cost us? The trucks, the employees, the time, the payroll.
Did you use that service?
Did I?
Right.
No, I did not.
But to all the residents that did use that service, is that a value provided to our
But
residents?
it's a dual thing. We already have it for the county. So why are we doing it if it's already in the county?
I don't know. I don't even know if there was a county event.
Yes, there was. Yes, there was one in April. I believe they do it twice a year, but I did check. It's done in April. But why are we doing it if it's already done?
I don't know if there's long lines. I
So
don't know.
couldn't that same argument be for a county police department?
Yes, but
And
nobody
that-
wants to
that
give up
was-
our police
that was
department.
brought up by some friends in the audience years ago, and we committed, we're not gonna go that route.
Right, but someone
And that also-
joked with
Miss,
me
you're
about
stepping
that.
over me, Miss Kelly.
Absolutely, I am. Yes.
I'm just gonna let you finish.
Okay. So yes, we do have some things that are not fiscally responsible. I'm sure we can go through line items. I mean, give me a budget. I ran a budget. I used to be a slumlord over in Chester. I know how to run a budget. Okay? I ran over 30 some properties. I know how to run a budget.
So is the shred event the only big thing that you see as being wasteful?
No, not at all. It's the only thing that just came to mind today. I have never seen a budget. I have never done my due diligence to pinpoint anything specifically. But I mean, times today, most of us cannot afford to go out to dinner twice a month. So what we're doing, we're going to be ordering pizza on Friday instead of going to Catardo's. So we're cutting back and we're going to be fiscally responsible at home. So if it's already done in the county, why are we duplicating services and having it done here?
Thank you, Miss Kelly, for your time. Does anyone else would like to speak that's not spoken yet?
Oh, I need an answer. You told me you were going to have me be
Does anyone,
fiscally
I will
responsible.
speak after. You just,
Okay.
anyone else like to speak that's not spoken yet? Ms. Smithman, you'll be our last speaker.
Good evening, Council. My name is Shaughnessy Smithman. I live in the SDK Millbridge Gardens Apartment Complex on Millbrook Court. If I could bring up once again, I did see that there most likely will be a budget for the next year of 2025. The importance of where we're all actually located and how to get the municipality and the local emergency services and police department, even letters to be delivered to properly identify everything. Growing up, we had no municipality. We had a Bell Atlantic, and I think Jones Intercable came through later. Other than that, where my particular home did not have any municipality services whatsoever. We had a septic tank and a well and a dirt road. We had street signs. Recently, I've noticed that there's still people that might be going through the same issues, and there's really nothing standardized to assist them with anything of where they are. If we could, I'm going to ask again, put in the budget. It might seem like it costs a lot of money, but it could be priceless to assist people. If you place on each sign pole, if it identifies what street you're on, place on that pole in raised or recessed writing the location of the local police department and the local fire department that serves that area. Since it's done by where you actually are located, I live in Clementon, New Jersey, but if I called 411, if I even knew to do that, I would ask for Clementon police services or emergency services. I would be given the wrong information because it's actually Gloucester Township. So if you could place on there for people that are new to the country and don't speak the language, if they want to communicate with the police department or the fire department, they could just take a piece of paper, place it on there and take a crayon or a pencil and make an etch if it's in raised or recess writing. They could then have, without even knowing how to write the language, they could get a letter, they could mail a picture to the local police department, put a picture on it, a symbol to identify the police department and a symbol to identify the fire department. So they know which one it is just by simply looking at it.
Ms. Spencer, do you know, is this a problem that people cannot find fire?
We wouldn't really know because anybody that tried to look wouldn't have the ability to identify the local police or the local fire department. It's never been made available to them.
Has anyone come to the police department saying they had trouble locating Gloucester Township Police Department? Have we ever heard of this issue?
No, never.
Well, the purpose of me bringing it up is for people that are blind, deaf. That's why I said put it in
I'm
Braille.
just curious. I mean, it sounds like you know, but I
Put it
don't
in
know.
Braille. Also, if somebody is new to the country, they really wouldn't even know necessarily where the local municipality
It
is.
sounds like a big investment of time and money for something that may not be an issue. So I don't.
I've lived here my whole life and I was born and raised in this country and you guys have pretty much left me for dead. So I'm trying to assist you with getting new citizens to put in harm's way. They don't have a chance. This might assist them in becoming productive members of society because you're taking even the productive members of society and pushing them out. I can't get healthcare based on my inability to get cooperation with this municipality. And I think it would have been the same no matter where it was in the state. I wouldn't know. I've only lived in the state of New Jersey of the United States of America. These are issues that I had thought of, but what could have assisted me as a small child coming from a neglective and abusive yet stable household. It was a nuclear family. There was a mother, a father, there's even a dog in the backyard. But nothing really connected me to the government portion. I lived it because my father lived it. He also died in it. He died alone. There was nobody there. If there was, it was the part of his family that are assisting in, God, who even knows? Because he had family and he died alone. He's one of 7 kids and he had 3 kids and a wife. This can happen. I bring it up to stress the importance of people who are not from this country or people that are in this country and are blind or are in this country and are deaf. They will see the picture. They will know if they go to that, if identifies a street, they could go up to it. It would have a picture to identify if they want to speak to the police department or the fire department. If you put it in raised or recessed writing, they could place the envelope or postcard on the side and sketch it. They can even get a grass will stain it enough to get it from the United States Postal Service drop box to either the fire department or the police department. If you put it in Braille for those that are blind, the blind get around remarkably well. They can find a street sign. They will know where it is. They will be able to read the Braille. It will also introduce children to what Braille is. They will see it. They know that that's their street. They'll know what township that they're in. As a child, our school books, we had to write the borough, the state, the county that we were in, and that's at the beginning of the school year.
Thank you.
I think it would be very helpful for everybody in Gloucester Township.
Thank you, Ms. Smith.
Thank you for listening.
And that concludes our second public portion. I'm going to address Ms. Kelly. Ms. Kelly, you talked about what financial responsibility is. We'll be financially stable. We'll stabilize our taxes. We put in a 5-year plan, a commitment to reduce taxes and then stabilize them over a 5-year period, reinvesting in our community into our recreational sports. If you were here during the presentation. This room was filled with individuals. So reducing taxes, stabilizing that, investing in our community, into our arts, our seniors, and in capital projects. 18 years ago, I sold my first house here when I moved into town. 18 years ago, I lived in Glendora. I sold my house, and I had so much equity at the time of selling my house that I was able to pay off my school loans and any credit card debt or any debt. For 10 days, I was debt-free until I bought my new house. But what that did is it reset my financial house. And that is what we're doing here in our township as this moves forward.
We're getting 5
We are
cents.
resetting our financial house.
5
We are
cents.
alleviating debt, $67 million of our township debt, and reinvesting in our community.
5
All right, we'll
cents.
now open up polling the directors. Thank you.
Mr. Carlemere?
Nothing to report.
Mr. Cardis?
Nothing to report.
Chief Harkins?
Nothing to report.
Mr. McGill?
Nothing to add, thank you.
Mr. Mignon?
Congratulations to all our coaches tonight and all the coaches who didn't get an award tonight for what they do for our community, for our wonderful township and our fields. Thank you. Everybody have a great night. Be safe.
Mrs. Albrecht Troxel.
The highlight of this meeting was the young people who came out earlier and surrounded their coaches who are teaching them how to be really good citizens and how to go through life in a positive way. More about life than it was about baseball. And I think that was just very uplifting to me. And there was a lot of common sense in that room, I could see. And that was the highlight of my meeting.
Mrs. Gracelove?
It just makes me smile to see the youth being mentored by coaches and seeing how many great coaches we have in our township. Congratulations again to the coaches who received the awards tonight. But again, we have so many great coaches who mentor and do great work in the community. So kudos to everyone. Have a great night.
Mr. Nash?
Thanks for coming out and ditto to everything they said. Congratulations to the recipients.
Mrs. Walters?
Congratulations to all the honorees tonight, and I appreciate everybody coming out and speaking. And everybody have a good week and a safe Halloween.
Mr. Mercado?
I want to thank everyone for coming out this evening for their comments. This past Friday, we had our 9th annual trunk or treat with thousands in attendance. I'm sure our police enjoyed working that event. Thank you, Chief, for providing and keeping us safe. There is an incident that happened in Collinswood the week before, and the chief made me apprised of it, but I was confident that that was not going to happen here. We took this necessary measure. So thank you very much, Chief, and our Public Works Department, our volunteers, and the 47 trunks that were there that provided candy to, again, thousands of kids that were in attendance that evening. Congratulations to tonight's honorees for all they do. This is why we invest in our community. And again, as I stated earlier, they make our community. These organizations, the volunteers that commit their time and efforts to our community. On November 5th, please vote. And then lastly, as Veterans Day approach, please thank a veteran as Veterans Day approach on November 11th. With that, I entertain a motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Have a great evening, everyone.
When is the meeting rescheduled for next month?
It's the Wednesday after.
Wednesday, yeah.
13.
Thank you.
November 13th.